Hey, it's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. Today's the 26th of February 2017. See, I know what day it is. And it's 7:05 in the evening. And I'm getting ready to head in. I just went in and saw what they're having for dinner. And I know that when I start eating it, I'm going to wish that I could come back out after dinner and make a video about it, because I've been meaning to do this. So I thought I'll just shoot out and do a quick video. There's a product that we've had out there for a little while, and it's done okay. And what it is, it's pork burgers. All right. Now the Mangalitsa pig is got outstanding flavor. Part of the reason why the flavor is so outstanding is because of the fat. And I think we've gone through a little bit of, eating fat and not being afraid of fat and different qualities of fat, fat off pasture as opposed to fat out of CAFOs. So I think people kind of understand that now. The burgers that we made, the process of making a burger, there's, that you have a grinder, and when you say you want burgers, they take and they chunk the meat up. It goes in the grinder, and then it goes into a burger machine, which is like a hydraulic press that presses it into a burger shape, and then that is moved off. It has to be automated. You don't have a bunch of elves there making burgers, and oh, this one's 4.2 inches, They don't do it like that. It has to be done a little bit quickly to make the process work. The problem is making burgers with pork. The consistency of the fat is different than the consistency of the fat of beef. And so the machine is engineered to make beef burgers, which it does an outstanding job. But with pork, if we mix in enough fat to make it palatable, it's too much fat for the machine. So it didn't work. And the burger smeared. So they had to cut the fat way, way back. And what we got was a very lean pork burger. The flavor on it was outstanding, but the tendency was people were overcooking them, and it would dry them out. So then we have to say, well, don't cook them very much, but you all have been told that you have to cook the snot out of everything, because the USDA is saying, well, if these people are going to eat food coming out of these CAFOs, we better cook it to death, because there's all kinds of rotten stuff in it. If you grow your own meat, or you rely on a farmer like us that takes care to make sure that our meats are clean, you don't have to cook it to death. You don't. You should be able to eat meat raw, and if you can't eat it raw, then you shouldn't eat it, right? And cooking should be done gently. You don't want to cook it to death, because you cook the life out of it, actually. So the burgers didn't go over that well. They didn't even go over very well here. So our processor was, informed that it wasn't going the way we wanted it to go, and so that wily rascal went back to the drawing board, and he devised a plan. Now, I can't share all that information with you because it is proprietary information, but I can show you the end result. Look at that. That almost looks like a deli meat, but it isn't. They're burgers. And there's 4 of them right there. Now the process is a little bit more labor intensive, so it costs a little bit more to do, about 50 cents a pound. So that gets added in, but still, that burger at $7 a pound, you do the math on it, divided by 4, there's 4 of them in a pound. It's still okay. It's still okay. I mean, if you're getting it directly from the farm, like getting it from us, it's still good. And our biggest seller, all right, this little inside poop, our biggest seller is collar steaks. Now, collar steaks, I've shown you those. It's a cut that is right behind the head, on either side of the backbone, which is the loin. There's a muscle that goes from the neck all the way down to the tail on both sides of the backbone, and you have it too. Humans have it too. It's just not as big as on a pig. And that's the loin, and there's different parts of the loin, but right behind the head is the cut that is, when it's steaked, it's called a collar steak. And when you look at that, it looks very similar to this, the distribution of fat. Now this is ground, so you can see that there's, that's a good picture right there. And some people might say, oh, it's too fatty. Try one. Try one. And you have to know that the fat is actually good for you. Let me get into that in a minute. But the collar steak is our biggest seller. Those things fly. People have them reserved, and we get $12 a pound for them. But they are superb. They melt in your mouth, and it's just unbelievable eating them. Now, the distribution of fat in this burger is about the same, and they're close. If you can't afford the $12 a pound, get the burgers and try it out. It's very similar to the collar steak. Okay, now eating fat. Why am I advocating eating fat? Part of the human body is fat. Some of the most important parts of the human body are fat, like the brain, and then we can get into all kinds of other places, but we don't really even have to. Let's just talk the brain. The brain is almost pure fat, and when those brain cells wither and die, they need to be replaced. So you need to be taking in animal fats into your body. The problem is a lot of animal fats nowadays are not exactly safe because they're fed in a way that's not very wholesome. And I don't want to get into all that. I really don't want to get into all the GMOs and all that stuff, because then you start stepping on toes of people that are very powerful, and I don't want to do that. I'm selling a product that is safe, the fat is good for you, and you are encouraged to eat a lot of it. It'll lubricate your joints, it'll help your brain replace the cells that are in it, it'll plump up your lips, there's all kinds of stuff that come with it. And of course, we render it down into the lard, and this lard is very, very good to do all kinds of cooking, baking, and things like that. But we can't, I can't sell it as a food product because it wasn't produced in a shop with a guy with a USDA baseball cap on. So we sell it as soap makers. So you can make outstanding soap. And it's available on the website now too. These burgers are outstanding. You don't need to be afraid of the fat. The only thing you really need to be afraid of is if you buy them once off of our website. It's bakersgreenacres.com, www.bakersgreenacres.com. And remember, you spell acres, A-C-R-E-S, not acers, A-C-E. I do that all the time. It's acres, bakersgreenacres.com. And you go in there, we've got a new process of buying stuff, very efficient, and we use UPS and FedEx and sometimes the Postal Service, whichever one gives the best deal to the location we're going to. And we're working out the bugs on this, but I encourage you to go to that website and see the other products that are for sale. You can even look at collar steaks to see how they look. And also, we've got our internship program coming up, our Anyone Can Farm program, which is our instructional program that we do on weekends here at the farm, and many, many other things that are coming up, plus the videos, the how-to videos, they're coming up. So please like and subscribe. That helps the farm. If you want to support small farms, we are one. So buy from us. Our instructional program is called Anyone Can Farm, and I know some people that listen to my videos might live in Manhattan, and you probably can't have pigs in your apartment, but you can eat the pigs that I raise, and by doing business with me, that you help keep me in business and people like me. And we do spread our knowledge throughout the community to those that want to know about it. So, this is Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Remember, anyone can farm.